We're ruling things out, but not making any progress.
You are now watching the 2023 season of Farming with Duffy Ag.
Welcome back to the channel. Actually, we got a tenth of rain, and somebody in the UK asked why they say it's a tenth of rain, because there's a tenth, so it's a tenth of an inch. We don't use millimeters. But welcome back to the channel. Feels like it's gonna be another rainy day, even though it says it's not gonna rain at all. It looks like it is raining over there. 4640 on the planner. I got a lot of things, a lot of advice given to me. Something's up with the master cylinder, so we're gonna switch some things around. I do need a hose made so it's longer, and then we'll be in a, well, then we'll know what our real problem is. You can bypass these on this planner because it's a much more simpler planner than the hydraulic full planner, stuff like that. It makes life easier, but yeah, always something. We're gonna get there. It's Sunday, so getting the hydraulic hose made, stuff like that, that's very limited. But Monday we gotta truck some fertilizer and get rolling into fertilizer. So let's see what today brings us. Change of plans. I started up the manure truck, was gonna run through the tires, grease everything, go haul manure. He just talked to the gentleman. His pump tractor got a flat tire, and all his other tractors have duals, so when you back up to the pump, it's in the way with the duals, and you can take a dual off, but as we all agreed, that's more hassle than it's worth on a Sunday. It does seem like it's gonna rain. I'll let that truck run for a little bit. That's a runner. So we are gonna haul some manure, field spread with it. Napa is open till 2 today, so we're actually gonna go run to Napa, get 2 hoses made that are a foot longer so that we have them, and then we're gonna mess with this. My buddy Aaron, who's a very, very smart guy out in Illinois, said you can mess with those hoses to make it work and then have to rebuild that master cylinder, but building a delete kit really isn't that hard on this planner. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna run into town, get hoses, extra length of hoses made so that we can loop them around and do some things. And it is sprinkling. Well, we'll go for a quick car ride, get this made. Little microclimate here. It says it ain't gonna rain anywhere else. We'll see what the weather is, or it says it wasn't gonna rain at all. We'll see what the weather is when we get down in Cobleskill. Got a hose that's a foot longer. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy Napa's open 9 to 2 on Sundays, which I didn't expect that. So we'll throw that on and we'll see what we can do. Gotta phase it, and I'll run down what it actually does. Okay, so how I have it set up right now is the supply is exactly how it was. Yeah, this might be, I don't know, we get some space there. What I switched was left to right as far as the cylinders, or as far as the lift. So somebody said, switch those if it follows, I think how he said this. If it follows, if it switches sides, then you know it's in the master cylinder. You got an issue. If it doesn't switch sides and it stays the same problem, then it's a lift cylinder. So love it. Okay. I still don't like how that wheel raises. how it's going on the other side. I don't know. Interesting. So, I'm still having the same issue where it's only lifting one side of the planter there. I got the outside wheels locked for transport. So that makes me believe that cylinder there has an issue. Because if it had a master cylinder issue and it was leaking past it, we would have flipped it now. Okay. Maybe. But we can switch that cylinder out easy enough. One thing I noticed right away, it won't extend all the way. Like the collar or something's. Oh. This other one's free playing. I don't know if that's. Yeah. Nope, it won't go up. Swap that cylinder out. Yeah. The two green ones are a little bit different. I might move them to that one to the middle. They don't have the collar on the lower point, so they do lift higher, which is a good thing when you're moving planter around, because it can drag and cause a lot of issues. But we're ruling things out, but not making any progress. So swap the cylinder out thinking that was my issue because it wasn't lifting. Nope. So it goes back to he's chasing the bird. Master cylinder has an issue. This is the first time that I've got it actually up off the ground. I've been struggling so much, but this is the first time. Ooh, that's not good. We better set that back down. I took those little flow dividers out because I was worried on what they were gonna do. We got to make those lines longer. Or they're not flow dividers, they're speed controls, I believe. But yeah, I think there's a lot of air in the system. I got it all teed together. A bunch of people have said to do this, do that, and none of it's really worked well. Do I got an angle one? That would make that one so much better. Yeah. We'll switch that out with an angle, and then that should give us enough. So let me set it back down. Probably won't work now that I set it down. So what did we figure out? I just had to bleed the air out of it way, way, way more than I ever thought. I thought I was bleeding it enough, but nope. So that master cylinder should be correct, and I want to use it because it does make it lift nice. Because I finally got it all figured out, I think. So let me put these all in the same lift spot. It makes sense. These cylinders that are in here have two different spots. But when the master cylinder works right, it prevents it with that sleeve. That's why I could run this last year with no sleeve in there and it wouldn't overextend itself. But I want everything to actually be correct. So going into the future, I know what I'm doing with it. I don't know how so much air got into it. Well, we took it apart, but at first, there we go. It's almost like I'm good at doing this now. I've only done this on like every one of them now. There we go. Now it's in the proper position to bleed the air out. That might have been part of my problem. The cylinders didn't have enough space to bleed out to push air back. So let me put this back together. We're gonna put the master cylinder back together and hopefully it works. That little master cylinder valve works in mysterious ways. Ready? Haven't even messed with anything. At least it picks everything up, so I know we're in a good spot. A little rough, but I forgot to unlock the outside wheels, that's why. But I'm gonna go do that. We'll get everything, we'll get it bled. We're gaining. We are actually gaining for the first time on this planter since, yeah, we loaded it on the trailer. This is much better. Yep. So then you hold it there for a while. I'm actually gonna get out and we're gonna go through every bleeder and make sure there's no air at all because I'm not messing with this planter again. Well, everything's gonna need a bath now that it's, like everything is covered in oil. But this is the moment of truth. Well, I didn't push it down far enough. There we go. Ow! Note to self, don't put your hands between metal. That nail's gonna be gone later. I got everything. I just gotta throw the crossbar. That keeps it from flexing. Holy smokes, that hurt. Okay, now let's see. This will be the real testament if this works. If not, we're not gonna have a good day. It works. So we solved it. Not really sure, other than a bunch of air. Took everything absolutely apart. Yeah, definitely feel better on that stuff. So now it can fold up. I'm gonna go in and fix my finger. Usually you set it down, you undo that, you lift them up. Well, you guys are gonna be you guys are a mess, covered in hydraulic oil. But I went in the house for a while. Finger doesn't look that bad, except you look at that side, see the black. Put it on ice for quite a while. Yeah, sorry, you guys are covered in hydraulic oil. Is that better? A little bit better? Yeah, so everything's covered in hydraulic oil, looks great. The 46 was looking really, really good. It's got hydraulic oil all over it. But the good thing is this planter works the proper way it should, which is a big win. From here, we really got to run through it and switch those marker arms, because the marker arms are not going to work for what we're trying to do. And that shaft. And then from there, just grease stuff. But I'd like to get this washed, because working on it when it's covered in hydraulic oil, I did go in and take a shower myself because I was covered in hydraulic oil. So I'm not exactly sure how they put these on. They got those to sit up. I don't want to weld them directly onto the frame. So this might take some planning, but we got to get those marker arms off. I might have to, everything's covered in hydraulic oil. I got to put my shoes on and not smash. Oh my God, that's going to hurt tonight. Yeah. I know somebody's going to say, oh, why'd you do that? You're not focused, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not focused. I got way too much stuff going on. Oh, but let me see if I got some degreaser, and then we can, what do we got? Degreaser, you can have that rag. To do both the tractor and this, clean up our mess, and then start working on it. So it is Sunday. It's beautiful out, actually. This week's gonna be aggressive. We got fertilizer to go in, we got corn seed to go in. Hopefully by the weekend I will have silos, chopping, and all that figured out as far as my plan. So at this moment, I got my one pressure washer, which is really my more homeowner. We're gonna need that. Well, we're gonna need more of these adapters, because I got, well, 2 tractors that use the same ones. So they're adapters to go from Pioneer to the new style. Correct me if I'm wrong. You had a good day today? I love you, buddy. Sounds like the birds up there. Let me pull this over. We're gonna give it a wash. Now that I made such a mess of it. And yeah, I'm washing it to waste time, okay? No, I'm washing it because it's covered in hydraulic oil, which is gonna make working on it horrible. My finger really hurts. I'll be honest, I just sat here and looked at this for a while. Like, 4640, best tractor ever built? No. I'm going to say no. Is it going to suit what I want it to do? Yes. A bunch of people said, why doesn't it have 20.8s instead of 18.4s? They bought it, and I think it had 20.8s on it, and they put these rims on it instead, which is perfectly fine, because 18.4s go on a lot of other tractors. So find an 18.4, either snap-on duals, or if we move the axle in a little bit and we actually get hubs for this, then that will be good. Keep in mind, we do have wheel weights on the inside here, so we do have some extra in the back. We got all the weight in the front. We're not going anywhere, Yanko. He keeps thinking we're going to bed. We should probably go to bed sooner than later. It is 8 o'clock. We watched the sunset. So I sat here, let this dry, cleaned all the windows, well, where they had writing on it. Very, very happy. It did have like pull-out fender extensions or something on it. That's why that bolt there looks a little rusty. So somebody at some point tried to freshen the tractor up. We got a dent on that fender. No dents. A little bit of a dent right here, but that's farming. Like, somebody ran into it right there. That's all part of farming. If it was all perfect and it was up to show, then I'm like, doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it's been used, but I'm gonna go with, it does have that 6,100 hours on it. 6198, so 6,200, and it goes perfect with the planter. So the planter is all washed. It dried off. It's still, well, it's not as bad as I thought. I figured it would be real oily still, which isn't a bad thing on a planter, because like you want to oil the chains, you want stuff to move. Lubrication is kind of key on the planter. So we'll pull it around back over to the shop. I want to pull the tractor in. We're going to change this shaft out because that was my mess up. One of my mess ups for the year. And I still have, we got to put cotter pins and everything. So we got a fitting there, which that works perfect. That line now, same with that line. So we got cotter pins. Yeah, cotter pins to put in on everything. And then we got to open it up, take these arms off. Like if these arms were not on it right now, we could pull right into the shop. We could have everything in it. We could honestly probably open it up if we move some seat around, but that's where I'm at. So we're gonna move this over. God, I am loving it. Very happy with this purchase. Gonna pull the duct tape off. There's some stuff on the tractor we got to run through as far as lights. The exhaust moves a little bit, and the radio. But otherwise, I think we're gonna have a... You're right, I could sing to you guys. We can't even play the radio anyways. Monetization. So this was sold as a 6,200 hour tractor. We're at 6,199.66. Yanko's making sure the corn seat doesn't get messed with. So keep in mind, we have right there is 165 acres worth of corn seed. We might have a few more acres than that to do. So, but yeah, just broke in. Black dash or black tack is for an late 82 is from what I've learned. Ooh, somebody broke off whatever mounts were here. We might have to redo that because we do have to put the planning stuff in. We got to put the GPS stuff in. We're probably going to switch. I'd like to have this on the GPS. That's really where it's been. So oh, he has waited this whole time just to come in this. We're gonna have to get a pillow, some cover, because the interior in this is actually really nice. Like we got a little rip hole here, but that's what you get when you get a tractor that is 1982. Like, it is what it is. You wanna come ride? All right, same seat, bud. But there's interior, so you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out. You can't just rip your paws into it. We'll get you like an armrest or something. But we're gonna be planting corn for many, many hours this year together. You and me. I know there's no cup holder or cigarette ashtray, so you can't put your paw. Don't act emotional. We're gonna be okay. I'm gonna pull this over. We're gonna open it up. I don't think, let me shut the door. You're good. I don't think many people really understand the struggles of, you got a planter, and somebody's gonna say, oh, that's what happens when you have junk. This thing's like brand new. We ran through it all. Everything got rebuilt. It just sat, and that was my issue. So now I'm learning, but yeah, the struggles of farming on that side of it, the planter struggles. Like I got friends that got brand new planters that they spent $500,000 on a planter, high speed, and they're like, oh, we planted 10 acres and it's broke in the field. We can't do nothing. At least I didn't spend that much money, and we weren't broke. We could run it, but after a few fields, I probably would have had my fair share of choice words. So, alrighty. I'm very happy. It's an 8-row. If I went to a 12 row, probably should have went to a 12 row, honestly, if I had known where my life was going to go. But a 12 row in the situation where I was, and like 5 acre fields makes 0 sense. We're not farming 5 acre fields here. So, yeah, we're not farming any 5 acre fields. So, we're going to get through this year. This planter is going to treat us very well. It's going to line up with the combine. If you know, then you know. And next year, if we're still kicking, we're gonna probably invest some money into this planter, because an 8 row, 6 rows great, a 12 row you get a lot done, but an 8 row is like in between. Like, you can pick up that 10 acre field and not feel so weird about pulling in, doing 4 passes and being done, and then taking more time to close the planter out. But alrighty, enough of me rambling. Yanko's sick of me anyways. We're gonna pull over to there, and it was a good sunset. I'll give it that. If the silo blower was out of the way a little bit more, yes, we're gonna run this with the 2755 and the table. That's the plan, at least. We're gonna see how that works out. If it was out of the way, we could pull in a little bit more. We might be able to pull all the way in. So honestly, I should probably just see if I can pull it out of the way, but I don't think I can on the flat tires, so we gotta do that. But hot damn. Where we're going from here, I wanted the tractor actually inside because I don't know how much motivation I have. My finger hurts quite a bit, but we got this shaft, which don't want to close it too much. This shaft goes on the back of the planter here, and I bent it out of, yeah, this was 100% my issue. I left the stop up, but not all the way in, and that shaft's bent. So we got to cut it, pull it, re-drill, because it does go through the whole thing here, and then that will be good there, which you can tell it's not completely clean of the oil, but it's better than it was, which isn't a bad thing. Having oil on a planter, oil in the tubes does not work out, but oil on everything else is good for a planter. Honestly, we haven't got much done. 46 is sitting here. The light's still going. We haven't switched any of the shaft. So this is a tomorrow project because, well, my finger's turning really not a good color. So I'm going to go put it on ice. Very glad that we got this to fold up. So now it is much narrower. If you guys don't remember, set this planter up. It was a 36-inch row. 8 row. It was this, but 36-inch row. So it stuck out further. So we had to move everything. We still have to move some of the planting units moved when we picked it up for transport. Other than that, we should be okay to pretty much run. Now that we get the hydraulics figured out, we got to change the marker arms, because as you see, if we pulled that in right now, that would probably hit. These yetters fold up really nicely. They're going to go from here, and they might stick out a little bit. I think they're going to stick out a little bit, but I'd rather have them stick out, and we can literally back this planter into a shed when we're done. I hate the fact that we put so much time and energy into something that literally sat outside once it was out of the hoop building last year, and I do not want to do that again. A bunch of people said, why don't you put stuff in the building out back? We have. We can't put the discs, the plows, we'd put half of it, but the planter, especially when we get done with, probably next winter, we're actually going to put a bunch of money into this, or we'll look for a new planter. We'll see how it works out, but I'm thinking this planter suits me very well, so we will put some money into it. And an 8-row flex fold front fold flex 8-row front fold flex planter is it's rare. Like, you really don't see it, which it doesn't mean it's great, it doesn't mean it's bad, but planting on hills as 2 4 rows side by side has a big benefit to it. So, but alrighty, that's where I'm at. I am gonna actually go in, probably ice my finger. It hurts. That stinger's still here. A bunch of people have hit me up about it. We did not scrap it. Relax. I guess they're worth some money. So, blowers, got to get all that figured out. Some people have said, oh, why are you wasting your time doing that? Just throw it on the pad. Because in the middle of the winter, going out and pressing a button is much better off than going out to the pad, starting a tractor, dealing with this, dealing with that. That's why. Plus, I like that pad for putting stuff on. But alrighty, appreciate you guys watching along. I'm going in before my finger really gets bad, and we'll be okay. Finger was my problem. I know that. And well, tomorrow we got 2 loads of the fertilizer to pick up. We got fertilizer to spread. Plow or disc should be running. We should have on-farm fuel, and honestly, once we get all that groundwork, this planter is going to be running one way or another. I don't care. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.